Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrials.guru. Same thing. Here's how this works. You send in your questions to me, Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. I will send you an answer. I will keep you anonymous. Unless you specifically request otherwise, find me on any social network of your choice. If I'm not on there, give me a holler. I'll get on it. So LinkedIn's great, Twitter's great, Facebook is great, Cyberdust, Snapchat, Instagram. All right, follow me on Instagram. So today's question is actually pretty good, and I'll do my best to keep the details vague, but I'm gonna get to the content of her question and I'll give you some context behind it so you could know what the situation is a little more accurately without giving away too much. Okay, so it says, "Hey Dan, I used to be a CRA for years. Now I recently started an LLC in a rural area in the Northeast." She actually mentions the city, but I won't. And so far it looks good, as though I might qualify and obtain this status for 10 years. So she's talking about her LLC. So the experience so far has been good creating the LLC. That being said, I really have no doctors in the area with PI experience. Of course, there are some an hour away, or some more an hour the other way. And she mentions those cities. So I'm dealing with a community that is starving for this, but I will have to handhold for sure. So, and then she has two issues. Okay, issue number one, I have one practice of 3 doctors who are willing and want to sign. They by far have the largest patient population in the community and specialize in mental health and CNS. However, they want to be equal partners with me. I initially said no. Why would I do that when I plan to work with other community providers? What are your thoughts? Should I just offer them a percentage of each contract, or open a separate LLC for just their organizations and make equal partners of that? I am not sure how to handle them because their group will be a great source of revenue. So here's what I would do for this group, okay? For this group, I actually would partner with them. I would set up a separate LLC just for your partnership with them. And it depends how many there are. You said 1 to 3. So I'm assuming that they want to do a 50-50 deal with you owning 50% of this new LLC and them owning another 50%. So in regards to the LLC that you set up already, I wouldn't touch that. I would set up a brand new LLC just for this purpose, because this is a good opportunity that you don't want to lose. And try to negotiate 60-40 and tell them you'd be doing the majority of the work, meaning you'd be running the site, getting the studies, getting the patients, doing QA, developing the SOPs, everything it takes, all the regulatory stuff, but contracts and budgets. They will just have to be the PIs and do the clinical stuff as the protocol dictates. So negotiate yourself 60-40 if you can. If they don't budge, do 50-50, but I have a feeling they will go for it, because to them this is going to be a secondary form of income, maybe even a third form of income. So go ahead and do that. I would not touch your existing LLC, because we're going to get to what you can do with your existing LLC in your next question. So set up a brand new LLC just for the purposes of this, and then get to work. You can get the studies because of your experience as a CRA. My group can also help you get studies. We do that for a lot of sites actually, so email me privately if you need help with that, recruiting patients, anything, consulting. But let's get to your question number 2. Issue 2, I have a second group of 5 to 6 providers with multi-specialists. Gerontology, emergency medicine, female, pediatrics. The meeting went well, but they want to understand a month in life as a PI, quote unquote. So how much time would they have to allocate on average, and what type of cash flow would this produce? I can pull a sample schedule of assessment for them to look at, but I don't have a sample budget. Do you have one I can use as an example? I don't know what to show them, and I think I'm going to set up a separate blog post where I'll post a sample schedule of assessment and budget. I don't know what to show them. Should I set it up as a fee for service or percent of each check, like 10% that you noted in the video? So set it up initially as a percentage of each check, and later on, after you're accumulating visits, set it up as a fee for service, because that percentage is actually going to be more than the fee for service. So this is a strategy for the research sites out there employing doctors. I have a video on how to find, partner with, and get studies and negotiate salaries with PIs, principal investigators. So just do a search on my blog for that. I would go with the percentage route first, because the checks you're going to be writing them are going to be smaller initially, and then later on, let's say you have 3, 4, 5 actively enrolling studies, you want to go with the fee for service because you're actually going to save more money doing that. With this group, since it doesn't seem like they want ownership, I would go ahead and use your current LLC that you have, the one that you haven't touched yet, and get studies under that LLC. And they're going to be different studies because the other company is dealing with CNS studies, central nervous system. So you're not going to be competing with them. And of course you want to make both of your business partners, or both parties of your business partners, aware of each other. Say, hey, I'm also doing studies with this group, but it's a totally different LLC. We will not compete. You want to be open about it, and you want to let them know what you're doing. You definitely don't want them to find out about it, especially since it's a small town. So that would be smart on your part. So that's what I would do there. In a nutshell, that is what I would do. I would pay them a percentage, 10% initially, and then pay them fee for service. As far as a month in the life as a PI, I mean, it really depends on the protocol, and it depends on how many patients they're enrolling, and if they're going to be active enrollers, or are they going to rely on you to do the enrollment. It depends, but that gives me some good video ideas for future videos. Maybe I'll run that by some of my PIs and see if we can do that. So anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for sending in your questions. Email me. I work with sites all the time on all kinds of things. So let me know what you think. And send your questions. Dan@theclinicaltrialsguru.com. I'll keep you anonymous. Also, great idea for having the sample schedule of assessments and a sample budget up there. And I'm going to try to find a way to de-identify the protocols as much as humanly possible. Maybe even completely redo it so it doesn't look like it, but you get an idea of some prices out there. I'll have to talk to my team about that and see what they recommend. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned. Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.